Good day, brothers and sisters. This is your host, Job Moraga from Marang Spiritual Ministries. Brothers and sisters, today is the 7th of July, 2024. The initial recording of this prophecy was done yesterday on the 6th of July, 2024. But due to events that happened overnight, I had to readjust and re-record this prophecy. So, brothers and sisters, I was taken to a specific location that I cannot disclose, and at this location there were men, mostly African males, and they were in the presence of the Antichrist, or the gentleman that I now consider to be the Antichrist. So they were in the presence of the Antichrist. There were men standing who were chatting to one another, and then there were others who were singing and on their knees. Imagine, brothers and sisters, how the people who feel very spiritual depict themselves. They would smear themselves with white powder from waist upwards. So these people, those who were kneeling down, they were singing and they were clapping hands, and they were looking at one another, not necessarily at the man and the Antichrist. So I noticed that he had disguised himself. He was wearing a black hoodie, and he was not saying much. I believe, brothers and sisters, that he sensed my presence or the presence of other spies that God had sent. So he was not saying much. His eyes were on everybody. He was scouting for whatever victim that he was looking for. So, brothers and sisters, he was a bit restless. Then what happened is that because I was part of those who were in attendance, so what happened is that he sent one of his, I'll call him henchmen probably, to me, and he came and he tapped me on my left shoulder, and he said things that I couldn't understand. And it was at that moment, brothers and sisters, that I was transferred into the natural. I will call it transferred because these things happen in the spirit. Now I was in the natural, as you see me, only to wake up and see that there is a spirit that is trapped in the web. I will explain how this web works, brothers and sisters. It's a bit complicated. I was transferred into the natural, and of course I am not alone. As I've said before, I've got a mighty team with me. So as this spirit was trapped there, it was swiftly dealt with. Those of you who carry the warrior anointing would know what I'm talking about. I'll leave it at that. The spirit was swiftly dealt with. Now, brothers and sisters, this morning, I'm now talking about Sunday morning at around 6 a.m. I saw one of the African men that I spoke about. Remember, I said I saw a group of African men in the presence of the Antichrist. So this morning, I saw one of the African men. He was holding a meeting, and this meeting must have been attended by close to 50 people. It looks like they had some sort of a video link with somebody that I couldn't see, but this African man, was sitting in the middle of what looked like a theater. So he was sitting in the middle of the theater, and there were many people, up to 50, who were surrounding him. So he was talking to somebody via the video link. I couldn't see who that person was. But that is not important, brothers and sisters. What is important is that the Lord has confirmed to me back to back, Saturday morning and Sunday morning, that it is indeed true that the cell of an Antichrist has now come to Africa. The cell of an Antichrist has now come to Africa. And this morning, I'm very saddened to say that the man that I saw, that I recognized on the very first night, on Saturday morning, the man that I saw he's a South African, and the people that he was in a meeting with are South Africans. This is now the second African that I'm seeing in the presence of the Antichrist. So brothers and sisters, that broke my heart, because potentially in the next 2 years, close to 2 million people in South Africa could be misled by this particular individual. Close to 2 million people. I do not know how he's going to subscribe them, let me put it like that, to his thinking and to his organization. But South Africa, beware. The first cell of the Antichrist is here in South Africa. And the 50 people that I saw, I don't know how many people they are going to bring in. So it will be a duplication upon a duplication. The first man of God that I saw, who was at a meeting that was attended by close to 500 people, that man of God is also in Africa. But the Antichrist is in Europe. So that man of God is in Africa. So brothers and sisters, that got me thinking. When I looked at this African gentleman, this South African, that got me thinking. I thought of the song by one of the deceased renowned artists of South Africa, Mbongeni Ngema. There was a song that he did called Sabela. And in this song, he talks about people who are sellouts. In this song, he talks about umthakathi, meaning a wizard, a witch. In this song, he talks about how this sellout compromised many lives. But then, brothers and sisters, those were the apartheid times, or that was during the apartheid times. Now, we're talking about something much greater and at a much greater scale as well. What is going to happen here? It will be an onslaught. So I thought of this song, and I know that Sesotho word for that is moloi. The Batswana sticks the knife in, and they talk about mampipi as well. So this man obviously is a great wizard. He's a mampipi. He is prepared to sacrifice his people for whatever reason that only he and the Antichrist know. So brothers and sisters, South Africa, brace yourself. He is here. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Those of you who are not followers of this channel, it doesn't matter whether you believe me or not. I am sent to say these things, and say them I will. Whether you believe that I'm fabricating them or not, honestly, brothers and sisters, it doesn't concern me. As the prophecies come, I will pass them on to those who've got ears to hear. It looks like things are starting to move faster than we thought. So 2 countries in Africa are hosting the Antichrist. I'm not prepared to mention the first one, but I am prepared to mention my country. And brothers and sisters, let me go back to the web. As I woke up, remember I said that I was in the spirit. Now I was in my natural state. As I woke up, I opened my eyes. When I says I woke up, they woke me up. They woke me up, and I saw on the wall that the spirit is trapped there. So brothers and sisters, I do not work alone. I've got a mighty team behind me. So the team has taught me what to do when we see such spirits in the natural trapped in the web. We execute swiftly, and that is what happened. Let me address the enemy. I know that you're watching, but this part is not for you. I just want to address the enemy so that they should know that the God that we serve keeps his promises, and he will protect us. He will protect us by any means necessary. Now, brothers and sisters, let me speak for myself, and I believe that it happens to those of you who believe in him, God Almighty. The same level of protection I would believe is being afforded to you. So with me, there are 3 layers of protection. Number one, four in fact. Number one, I am protected by the fiery angels, scarlet red, hot. They don't move. Wherever I go, they are with me. These are the same angels, I would presume, that guarded the Garden of Eden. I may be wrong. All that I can tell you is that they are scarlet red, and there's just heat oozing from them, and they don't move. They don't move. They surround me day and night. That is the first level of protection. The second level of protection is the angelic beings who are purple in color. These ones reminds me of the scriptures when they spoke about the royal priesthood. I think it is called royal priesthood. So they come and go during the day, they come and go even during the night, they come and go, and they stay longer from 3 a.m. to 8 a.m. So they will be there as well. But it is these other angels that I want to talk about. I don't know how many they are, or it's just one angel. I also do not know. But during the day, I will always see him outside. Wherever I go, he goes ahead of me. Even when I drive during the day, he goes ahead of me. So he comes in at night to stay. During the day, he's outside, almost like watching what's going on. But during the night, he comes into whatever enclosure that I'm in, and he covers and seals the entire enclosure. Now let me explain how it looks like. You will have this blue dome, huge. I've got a blue dome, and inside of the blue dome is a net. It is this net that these spirits get trapped into as they come to do or to be mischievous. They get trapped into this net, and obviously the team executes accordingly, or I execute as I have been taught. So it is of no use to keep on sending these spirits to attack me or whatever that you try and do. The God that I serve is much mightier than you. You know that. You know that there's nothing that you'll do to me. You have to breach those 4 levels of protection to get to me. That is how serious it is. So I will say what I have to say openly and fearlessly, to say that gloves are off now that the first cell is in South Africa. Imagine how rapid it will spread throughout Africa because of one man who's greedy, because of one man who sold out, one man, Sabela, esimbongeni ngemasohim, mpimbi, moloi, a wizard, Tagati. That is who you are, sir. The level of respect that I had for you is gone. You are nothing to me. Thank you, brothers and sisters. Let's stay in prayer. And I have promised to do a prophecy on Daniel chapter 9. I will do that, brothers and sisters. I had reserved this week for that. But again, as I have said, this became more apparent and this became more urgent. So South Africa, watch out. rather go to your normal churches that you used to go to. They may not be prophetic, or they may not give you the exhilaration that you're looking for, but perhaps it's safer there, or pray at home, because you just don't know. You just don't know what shrine you're going to enter, and you just don't know what is going to happen to you. But the choice is yours. The choice is yours. Ask Him. Ask your Father what the way forward should be. Thank you.